So we've been talking a lot about, hey, why is Donald Trump essentially trying to hold on to the office as long as he possibly can? And one of the things that is continuously and consistently brought up is the fact that he can really be liable for a lot of criminal charges. Now, a lot of those stem from tax fraud or financial fraud, like inflating his businesses, doing fake write offs, things of that nature. So we have news on another one coming out. It says New York expands Trump tax fraud investigations to include write offs. So I'm going to read this to you. It says two separate New York State investigations into allegations of fraud by President Trump and his businesses are now reportedly looking into tax write offs on millions of dollars in consulting fees, some of which appear to have gone to the president's daughter and senior advisor Ivanka Trump. The Times reported that a criminal investigation by Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance and a civil probe by the state Attorney General Letitia James, which are being conducted independently, have both apparently issued subpoenas to the Trump Organization in recent weeks for records in connection to the write-offs. This comes after a Times investigation published in September, based on more than 2 decades of Trump's tax records, found that he had deducted approximately $26 million in fees to unidentified consultants on several projects between 2010 and 2018. The Times found that some of the fees appeared to have been paid to Ivanka Trump. Citing a 2017 disclosure, the Times reported that the presidential advisor included payments from a consulting company she co-owned totaling $747,622, exactly equally consulting fees claimed as tax deductions by the Trump Organization for hotel projects in Hawaii and Vancouver, British Columbia. A source with knowledge of the matter told the Times that the subpoenas were focused on fees paid to the firm on her disclosures, TTT Consulting LLC, and accounted for a portion of the $26 million. According to the Times, the name of the firm apparently refers to Ivanka Trump and other members of her family. With Ivanka Trump serving as an executive officer of the Trump companies that made the payments, she appears to have been simultaneously treated as a consultant. The IRS requires that consulting fees be market-based and reasonable, as well as, quote, ordinary and necessary to running a business. So basically what they're saying here is she was using this tax write-off basically in exorbitant amounts of money for herself in 2017, which can actually put her into a lot of trouble. This is coming around on Ivanka Trump. So I guess the tax deductions for these consulting fees are incredibly massive, and they are not legal. So also what's worth noting in this is a state court case. So it's the state of New York, which means, this is not one that seems to be pursued at the Southern District of New York. The Southern District of New York is a federal court that is stationed in the Southern District of New York. So it's still a federal court, which means it goes on federal charges. It just exists in New York. So that's not state level charges, but the state attorney general of New York, Letitia James, that's New York state charges, right? I don't think that the president can pardon state charges. Only the governor can do that. So that means that Trump is really sort of in trouble in terms of you can't really find any way to wiggle out of this, even if you were to resign and have Pence, pardon you. And, there's a lot of things of people thinking about, former presidents not being prosecuted. This is kind of different. Some of this stuff is pre-presidency, but also, in addition to that, this is a state pursuing these charges rather than the federal government. So it's going to be really interesting to see, man. But there is no doubt that Donald Trump is going to be liable for a lot of criminal stuff.